This video is going to be done a little bit differently than the last video. The last video I wrote like an entire script, and I wasn't really a big fan of that because I was just reading off of the paper and I really wasn't talking to you guys. So in this video I created a list of items and notes to record because I actually wanted to learn how to record a video instead of just reading off of a script. So I figured that it would be best for me just to create a list of items and actually just talk to you guys as if you're an actual person and not just a camera pointing towards me and I'm just relaying what I've already written down. Because if I wanted just to write words and give that to you, I'd be an author. But I'm not an author, I'm a YouTuber, so I am going to be actually learning and talking to you. I figured that would be better to actually structure my YouTube videos. That way I'm actually speaking off the top of my mind, and that way you guys know that it is real, 100% genuine, what I'm thinking right now, and not what I've written down, say 7 hours ago, and I'm just now portraying it to you. That way you know this is 100% raw footage and you have nothing to worry about. That way you know everything I say is 100% genuine. You can even tell because there's going to be weird cuts, there's going to be a little bit of stuttering, there's going to be a lot of ums and ifs, but you'll realize that as the time goes that I will get better with this and we're just going to learn to grow together. But you know at least that it is real when I stutter and it's genuine and it's cutting out. But you're going to know it's a lot more personal and it's going to feel more real. So that's what I want to do with learning to actually record and not write a script and just use a little bit of notes, in other words, to write my YouTube videos. So let's get into the important part of this video and what you probably clicked on this video for. This video is going to be an all about me, and you're going to be learning a lot about me and literally everything that I can give you in a short span of time about my life, whether it's important or not. It's probably going to be a little bit boring if you don't really care that much, but just stick around, leave the like on the video, subscribe, and stay along with the journey. So getting into this video, I want you to know who I am, who I was, like what I used to do, what I wanted to be when I was a child, and how I acted as a child, and all that stuff. So getting into the video, my name is Gage Stone. I was born on February 20th, 2004, and I was born in Johnstown, PA. As a child, I was very energetic and kind of just did my own thing as a child. I was raised right and I had great parenting. My parenting wasn't the issue. It was just I felt I was more comfortable learning my own lessons and being taught, in other words, by myself, by the lessons that I did and failed from, although my parents already had given me these lessons. I just didn't really listen very well. So now getting into the jobs that I wanted to do when I was younger, from like first to, well, kindergarten through 5th grade, there were 2 main jobs that I wanted to do, and they were, I wanted to be a professional football player and I wanted to be a car detailer. The reason for those 2 is because I think from everyone in this entire world, everyone wanted to be a professional sports player at one point in time in their life. And for the reason why I wanted to be a car detailer is that's what my dad did. My dad detailed cars for a Chevy dealership, and he did that for a living, and I thought it was cool because everyone, when they were younger, wants to grow up to be like their parents, and that's just kind of how it is. So that's the reason behind those 2. As I go in through my middle school, through my high school years, I was very indecisive what I wanted to do for a job. Like, it kind of taught me some lessons, but it also kind of made me like do things last minute. Like, I didn't have any job plans throughout middle school. I can't really remember anything that I wanted to be in middle school. Kind of did middle school to do middle school. I went into a CTC, Career Tech Center, kind of like a police officer and a firefighting EMS, and I did that for 3 years, 10th through 12th grade. I kind of revolved my next couple years of life plans around that. The first thing that I wanted to do was in like 9th grade or 9th and 10th grade. It was a security guard. I wanted to be a security guard for like a professional sports team or sports events or like concerts or something like along those lines. And obviously I'm not doing that right now, so clearly that didn't go out well. But after that, I kind of took things more seriously and I looked into being a state trooper. The reason I picked state trooper is because we had a state trooper come in and he kind of like taught us the ropes, and I was like, that's pretty cool. But unfortunately, there were only two ways you could become a state trooper. It was either college or military. And at that point in time, I was still pretty new to like this whole thing. I really wasn't aware of a lot of these things. I wasn't the smartest kid in school. I didn't really pay attention, didn't get good grades, and I didn't really care about school. I had other things I wanted to do, hanging out with friends, goofing off, just things that really didn't benefit me in school. So college was out of the question. Right there and then, college was out of the question. So I thought about the military. Now, the issue with the military is when I was younger, I thought there was only the Army. I didn't know anything about the Marines. I didn't know anything about the Navy or any of those other branches. I thought the Army was the only branch. I thought the only job that there was front lines. I thought if you weren't going into the or if you were going into the military, your only job was you're gonna hold a gun and you're gonna go shoot people. That's what I thought the military was. I don't know if that's just because of how it was portrayed throughout like school and stuff, or if I just didn't really look into it. So I don't know where I got misinformation from, but that's what I thought. So obviously when I looked into it a little bit more, I was like, okay, there's different branches, there's different jobs that I can do. And in the end, I decided on going to the Army, and I decided on going through and being an ammunition specialist. Basically, my job would have been to load, pack, and send out ammo. But I didn't end up going through the military. And the reason being is because I went through the whole MEPS process. It took me 3 times to actually get through and finish the MEPS process. The first time I didn't even get to MEPS because I got into an accident on the way there. My shuttle driver wrecked. And the second time I got to it, but I couldn't finish because I didn't have my COVID paperwork. So I had to get sent back and bring it the next time. The third time, I got my job for a 20,000 sign-on bonus and a 300, I think it was a 300 plus pay period. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it's a pretty decent job. But I backed out because about a month or two after that, I started rerouting everything again, which probably wasn't the best time to do it because it was literally about 2 months from graduating. But I was looking into either an EMT, still state trooper, or now the new one is a game developer. The issue with the game developer is my last 3 years of my life were based around like public health and the scene of that. So that's kind of like what I knew. I knew firefighting, I knew EMS, I knew medic, I knew police officer, I knew all that stuff. I didn't know anything about game development, so I was starting over. But I quickly learned into some of that because I was always very tech savvy as a kid, and I always knew like a lot about, like I was very artistic. I drew, I colored a lot, and I was just very artsy and good with like computers as well. So that's kind of why that made me think of that. After seeing a couple YouTube videos, I was like, this would be pretty cool. So those were the three, and at that time, my main one was EMS or game development because I wasn't a huge fan of going to the Army, and I wasn't a huge fan of being a state trooper. The main reason is because I don't think I could have went out there and risked other people's lives, or my own, or having like other people's lives in my hands, and like them relying on me, and knowing if I mess up that it's my fault. And it was really hard for me to get past that idea, and I just don't think I could have done it. Now I know that EMS was the same thing, but it was a little bit easier doing EMS because I wanted to be in the ambulance. I wanted to not drive the ambulance, but I wanted to be the medic inside the ambulance. So it gave me a little bit more comfort because I knew that I was just, in other words, a transportation. I was stage 2. Medics are for like the first medic on the scene is stage 1. I was stage 2 for transportation, and then stage 3 is the hospital. So that's what I wanted to be, and that was kind of out of the question pretty soon when I started looking into game development a little bit more because I just thought game development was so cool. I played games as a child, and I was always curious on how they were created, so I wanted to learn how they were created. I wanted to work for teams like I've played Call of Duty, so I wanted to work for like Activision or Treyarch. Obviously, that's a huge dream, So I kind of stepped down a little bit. So I looked into other ones, and I came across a video from Thomas Brush, who's an indie game developer and does everything on his own. And I thought that was really cool. You could come up with the idea, create the art, create the game, and fix the code, do updates, market the game, everything. I thought it was a really cool idea. So that's what I started looking into. I watched and tried to figure out things if that was what I want to do for about a month. And within that month, I bought his course. It was like $500 at the time. I think it's $1,000 now, but it was $500 at the time. And I watched it, but I didn't really gain much from it. Not because he didn't do a good job. He did a very good job. He knew what he was talking about, but the course was a little set up weird and hard to follow along for me. So I didn't really pay attention very well with it, and kind of hard to like collaborate and follow along with things. So I kind of pushed that away, and I started looking into another one, which was a $20 course. And if you're into game development or looking into game development, I would recommend this course 100%. It was $20 at the time, and it was on the app or website called Udemy. I'll leave a picture up on the screen so you can see what it looks like. And my course instructor, that's what they call him, the course instructor was Code Monkey, and he also has a YouTube channel. He did a great job. Did step-by-step instructions. I did the visual scripting course. He did step-by-step instructions, and it's just a really good course. If you had any questions, he would get to you within 24 hours. He would get to you by like the next day for sure. If you're looking into game development, 100% check that out. Getting into the fall of kind of game development for me. I did that for about, I think, another month. And then at the end of that month, I actually got sick. I got very sick. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, I had a new variant of COVID that was coming out. I was really sick. Nose was running, really bad headaches, tired all the time. It was miserable. I had that for about a week. So that kind of lost sight of my game development for me, because I kind of lost hope for that, because I was just miserable and I just wanted to lay around. And I lost hope for that, and it kind of kicked me really bad, and I kind of just didn't really do that anymore. But through that time when I was being sick, I actually started looking into new things. Not really trying to look into new things, but kind of came to me, and it kind of happened pretty quickly. So I always thought about being a YouTuber would be pretty cool. So I looked into some other YouTube channels. And now these ones that I have here on the screen right now are channels that have impacted me into like looking into YouTube more, or helped me through different scenes that I wanted. As you can see, there are like 5 that are all in the same area, in the same niche. So that gets to my next point of where I wanted to be. A couple of the channels that were on there were fitness channels, photography channels, computer and technology channels like game development and visual design and stuff like that, and then entrepreneur and podcast. Those were like the 5 niches, I guess you could say, that I wanted to do and that I wanted to be in. The main reason why I picked those 5 is because fitness is something that I've always been good at. I was into football. I did weightlifting. I was very fast, very strong, just naturally. Not really any hard work, truthfully. Just natural. And a lot of my knowledge when it came to fitness, with exercising and eating habits, all just kind of came naturally. I don't know really where it came from. It's just kind of something that I knew and stuck well with me. I've helped a lot of people that I know with fitness and like their diets and stuff. So that's kind of why I thought of like doing a fitness channel. I thought I've helped people I personally know. Why not try and help everyone else, like out in the world? Anyone who stumbles across my channel would be very like excited because I would be helping them. The next one I wanted to do was photography, but it wasn't really for photography. It was mainly for traveling, but I thought it would be pretty cool to travel and take photos of like the places that I've traveled to. So I started doing a photography channel on TikTok, actually, is where it started. And I did a 30-day challenge, attempted to do a 30-day challenge, and it didn't really go well. I got 7 days through, did great photos, but I couldn't do very good because I missed days, and then I just kind of stopped because the challenge wasn't really going that well, and I plan to pick it back up eventually. But I probably won't do the 30-day challenge again. Maybe if I'm like traveling from like place to place to place, I'll do a 30-day challenge. Like I'll travel across the south of the United States and I'll take a photo every day and then I'll post it to TikTok or YouTube, or I'll do my 30-day adventure at the end of the time. Something along those lines. I plan to visit again, but for then it wasn't really that great. The next one was computer technology. My main one was Gage Designs. I created Gage a while ago. The reason I named Gage was for a gaming clan that I came up with. Gage was best at every game back then, but now it means something completely different. I don't really know what I want it to mean yet, but right now I was stuck with Gage. I thought it was cool, so I kind of just created Gage Designs as like my name for that. Nothing really posted on that, nothing really new or any adventures for that one. But the next one was my entrepreneurship, or this channel, and it was for like a lot of things. It was mental and physical help, finance help, anything help you succeed, hence the name One Goal Succeed. Now there will be more in the next video that I post about this, or if it's not the next video, it'll be the next one after that. So wait a couple days. I promise I'll get both those videos out within the next week. There will be more about that. So entrepreneur, I wanted to be one of those because I've always created like ideas through working like a 9-to-5 job of what made a good manager and what made a bad manager. So I thought I could run a business really well. Two people that I'm related to own businesses. One owns probably one of the best meat places in like our town, and then the other one owns the best coffee shop in our town, or one of the best coffee shops. And so they're both succeeding very well because they found what we needed and then they executed on that. I plan to do a frozen store, like a frozen treat store, and do something along those lines. But unfortunately, the place that I was looking at buying was already occupied. I didn't realize that when I was looking into buying it. So I kind of deteriorated that a little bit. But I do still plan to own a business and look into that one day soon. But I got to find the right property, and that's going to come with time. So right now, that's on hold. But I do plan to come back to that as well. And then the next and last one was a podcast. I feel as if I have a lot of knowledge and a lot of expertise in a lot of things due to growing up into a good family with smart people around me all the time, and just natural knowledge that I can portray onto other people, and I could talk to about anyone about anything at any point in time. That's one of my feats that I'm good at. So I think a podcast would be really good for me, as I could talk to really anyone about anything, and that would bring in a lot of people who are interested in this and just give my knowledge, and I could talk for hours on end, and it would be really good for a podcast. So I think that's why a podcast would be good. That's pretty much the end of it. That's pretty much where the end of the journey goes. But in the next video, and then the next two videos as well, the next one will probably be my goals. I'll give you a little bit of goals that I want to reach at the end of the video. So the next video I plan to upload are the goals I want to achieve, whether that's through YouTube, like what I plan to do with YouTube, my goals for the summer, my goals for the next 5 years, my goals for the next 10 years, my goals for my 20s, etc. All of that stuff. I have a lot of plans and a lot of goals, but they will change. And that's why I'm kind of creating this video and then my next video as well, just to see like how I grow and how I progress through the next couple of years as I continue YouTube and all of my plans and see how they play out. And then the next video after that one will be a kind of an all about this channel. This channel is going to be directed towards success, helping you succeed, and also my journey as well. I think that that'll be a really good like combination, because it will not only show how I'm doing it and show what I'm doing and it'll give you the lessons. I'll give you my lessons with my words, and I'll give you my lessons with actions as well. I'll show you what I'm doing, and I'll tell you what I'm doing. That way you know what I'm telling you works because I'm doing it right now. So for the next couple of years, I have a lot of plans, and I think it'll go really well. But if you want more about that, you're gonna have to like this video and subscribe, as I know that this video got to a bunch of people, and if you subscribe, that will keep you up to date. And I promise you, you subscribing will help you more than it'll help me. With all the stuff that I'm going to be portraying to you guys for absolutely free, all you got to do is click the subscribe button. You will not want to miss it. This will be a channel that if you want to succeed, you should stick around and follow my journey. If you just want to follow my journey, there will be a link in the description of all of the channels that I've ever created that I plan to upload to again in the future. If you want to follow that journey, there will be Gage Stone, Avidity Adventures, One Goal Succeed, which is this channel, Gage Designs, and then my podcast channel. That'll all be below. If you want to, feel free to subscribe to those too, as there will be videos coming out to those. My Gage Stone channel will be a broad one that will go over everything, and then my direct niche channels will be this one, along with my other ones as well. So if that's something that you're interested in, like this video, subscribe, and go check out the next video. I'll have it here. And that'll be everything for today. Go check out the next two videos if you're interested, and have a great day.